hotels.
We have 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Yeah, and be on the lookout for Recursion's 10 Weeks to Tipped Off series that is going to highlight every single tipped off that has happened before.
And we're going into the match now, and we've got a tech chase already, which is unfortunate. Oh, really nice. Was able to ASDI down into this ledge, but Battlefield happened immediately. KPAN, nice as a ledge cancel with his side B. And even though he looked pretty upset about getting Battlefielded there, KPAN's been doing really well after that.
Yeah, so
really taking control back after that early stock loss.
Yeah, so earlier in the day, I think it was winner semis.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow. Up air to up air. It was just a single hit up air,
he
too.
He snuck that up air in, too. So earlier today, we had in winner semis, these two played. KPAN won 3-1 fairly convincingly. He did have a really poor game on Yoshi's, followed by a KPAN run back, KPAN salty run back, copyright.
Yeah, you're bound to lose one of those counterpick stages between two really good players eventually.
Right, but then he counterpicked this exact same stage you lost on and won. So like, oh, that was a flub.
Yeah. Oh, no. And look at this. I mean, KPAN has basically taken 28% since losing that first stock really early, and he's about to take a clean 2 stocks now if he can. He gave up ledge afterwards.
Oh, the other thing.
Shine turnaround grab. That was really good.
The other thing to note here is that KPAN, while Harriet did just get warmed up by playing Cop, KPAN played a significantly higher magnitude Sheik earlier is in Mewtwo King, right? So the hope here is that, or at least for KPAN, the hope is that, you know, he can use that experience to come in here and really just
lay it
hit
on
the ground
thick.
running. Hit the ground running, right. That being said, Harriet is the more warmed up player, so we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I would definitely say the fact that KPAN kept it close to Mewtwo King definitely means that he got himself some valuable experience like that. Because people will say, oh, well, you know, he played a much better player, but if you play someone that's that much better than you,
kept it close is a vague term.
Well, one of those matches was really close.
One of those matches was very close, but however, the adaptation from Mewtwo King was nuts, and that's Harriet here is a more Mewtwo King-ish Sheik, which is plays very much in favor of KPAN right now. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't have that sort of god adaptation just yet, right?
No, I mean there are very few people that can, right? But to note, I mean, Harriet definitely does have some strengths.
Yeah.
In comparison to a lot of other Sheiks. I think especially this tournament, she's really proven how good she is with needles. Really nice grabbing onto the ledge and using that to set up for the edge guard there.
Well, above all else, the thing that gives her the biggest advantage is the fact that these two lived together for a very long time and played together for a very long time. They even teamed for an extensive period of time. So they both have very intimate knowledge of how the other plays, what options they like to go for. Granted, that was a while ago, but still, when you play with somebody for that long,
they definitely have the experience against each other a lot. And I mean, they played each other at a point where, I mean, they've certainly gotten better in the interim, but I mean, they've not that much better because they're already so good.
Right. Oh, that is really unfortunate. It's definitely paramount right now that Kevin just kind of brush it off.
Yeah.
Right? Say, all right, it didn't matter. That was a very close game, and actually he was in charge of it almost the entire time.
Is he going to go back to Battlefield?
I think it's likely.
Why does he do this? I don't understand. There's objectively better options.
I don't know, man. He follows his heart. He follows the heart of the cards.
I guess so, man. That Kevin kid, he's got a lot of heart.
He got a lot of heart. He got so much heart it talks to him.
Yeah.
And he trusts it.
The forward smash. Dylan was going on about, just missed the slight angle. Mr. Ben Ready, Dylan was going on and on about how much he loves Harriet's forward smashes with Sheik. And honestly, you know, if there's something that you're going to like about a Sheik player, forward smash is a nice one because it's such a goofy move to throw out. But she uses it to great effect, interestingly enough. This little ledge game here has been a little crazy. KPAN, I think, tried to go for the quick ramen noodle ledge hog. But Harry was ready for that, just did double jump there.
I think Kevin's going to want to get back in his groove of firing lasers, zoning out with lasers, excuse me. like, he's going in a lot, and he's getting punished for it. So, nice.
So I like that. He kind of juked out him grabbing the ledge, did the slip off, and rather than just like fall on and grab the ledge, he double jumped back on the stage, and I think it kind of juked out Harriet from going for ledge and just went on stage, easy down smash.
Ooh,
How did he
okay.
stick underneath that forward air though?
I have no idea. That's exactly
I thought he
what
was gonna get stuck underneath the stage for sure, but he just popped right underneath there.
Oh, very nice. I didn't know if he'd get the punish there.
Well, he did, and I think KPAN has sufficiently brushed it off.
Yeah, well, okay. Keep in mind, like, the one unfortunate thing about KPAN's play recently is that, like, he'll get really close and then unfortunately can't really clutch.
That's
like
true.
against certain players, like
that's immaterial though, right? I mean,
yeah.
If he loses this match, at the very least, he didn't like. It wasn't because he lost all of his momentum from losing the first game, right? He's playing it really close. He has been playing it really well. I don't think that he's done anything like egregiously wrong in this matchup, right? You know, win or lose, I think he's been playing well, and he's still like in like pretty good control of this game right now. Already at 100. Oh man, the daft.
So, sorry, not to get away from your point. I just noticed that like Harriet used to be very, very, very good at power shielding these lasers, and I haven't seen it once during the set actually. Like, she used to be so good that KPAN would have to counter with his own shield and power shield it back at her, which he was actually very good at for a long time. So I don't know if, like, not having the same amount of practice against KPAN has,
I think KPAN's
affected
lasers continues to evolve. Again, we were talking about how KPAN has such good lasers, and I think...
Oh, there it is. You know, it's,
wow,
I swear they heard me.
Yeah, right? I think missed the ledge dash, and now it's 1-1. That was a really good game from KPAN. I don't think he brought concentration at all during that match. He knew that he couldn't give like an inch on that matchup. Harriet has such a good punish game and such a good edge guard game that he knew that like if he lost on this, if it got down to the last stock situation, you can definitely lose, right?
Right.
You always want to have the mentality, if you're up a stock like that, you really want to close out that last stock because you never want to put it in a last stock situation, especially when you're playing a character like Falco that is at such a high risk of losing it all, like in a flash, right?
Or in a shine.
Or in a shine. Or in a Mitch ledge dash. Hey. So the counter pick is Dreamland. I'm a little bit curious about going to Dreamland.
Me too, because we keep talking about Kevin's laser game. Like, he could really make it shine here. No pun intended.
Yes. However, I think KPAN, as good as he is in bigger stages with his lasers, oh my god, the cancel shorten. What is this madman doing?
Is he like next level mind gaming right now? He's like baiting out something unsafe because he was shortening right there.
I would have been 100,000% baited. Like I've already lost 2 stocks from that one bait right there, man.
That is an exceptional bait. Just if you lose 2 stocks.
He killed that first stock, and then I just suicided afterwards because I was just in such shock. In an alternate universe, I got bobbed. Ooh. The Nair tech change. What was that shine turnaround?
I don't think he meant to forward air. I think he definitely meant to back air.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, and he could have very much died for the forward air too. If he didn't make it back on stage, back air he would have had a chance.
I like that getting away from Sheik really well.
Ooh. Nice shorten.
Yeah, the shorten is so good. The ledge hop double laser,
Kevin actually really makes ledge hop double laser work in his favor a lot of times. Like
ledge hop double laser isn't bad. You just have to do it at the right time.
I think that is the key, right? He's doing it at the right time. I don't see him get punished too much for it. I mean, like, hell, he was doing it against the moon and doing it effectively too. I don't think he got punished by the moon off of that. This is Momo Khan I'm talking about, by the way.
Yeah. And to that point, what we're talking about with power shielding, I think it's more of a testament to how well KPAN uses lasers. That he shoots lasers in a way that makes it that much more difficult to power shield because he's switching up the timing so much, because he's doing it in situations where he already has a frame advantage because they're rolling or they shielded something else. I thought he was going to get the spike afterwards. I thought he was going to follow up that forward air. That would have been nice.
Ooh, oh my god. There. Now you know why he went, what he went for, and he does it.
He does it.
He's feeling himself.
Oh my goodness.
He should be feeling himself, to be honest. That last combo was absolutely nuts.
KPAN and Harriet right now both sporting murder faces. Like you would I can't tell who's up, who's down. I can't tell if they're happy, if they're sad, if they're...
This is a pretty storied rivalry right now. Gotta be honest. Like he went for double. Oh my God, Kevin is really feeling himself right now. And actually, it's actually important right now for Harriet to like snuff this. She for her, she really needs to take the stock. And I don't know. I'm not suggesting she taunt back, but I'm just saying like she should really start feeling herself against it, right? Because
yeah, you want to take the win from their sails at this point, right? They've got all this momentum. They're just barreling down your throat.
Right. Okay. So,
and you just want to put it back at a point where like Falco is a character that kind of gains a lot of momentum as like he keeps getting more and more hits. Like he just puts himself at like such an advantage after getting a couple of hits, and that sets up for another laser, which sets up for more advantageous positions.
Oh man.
Oh wow. So Harriet held up the shield, knew that she was going to slip off, and I think she was going for a back air after she slipped off at that point. At Chain Recovery, follow her on Twitter. But KPAN saw that Sheik was going for the displacement and went for his own slip off on that platform to back air Sheik anyway. That was really ingenious on his part, and he's going to get the punish. I like that.
He never really goes for forward smash punish, I've noticed, which is very... Oh, he did it once.
He's more concerned about getting them off the stage. That same way.
He went for the risky.
No, it wasn't, because he's going for the cancel on the ledge, and he got it the first time. Even though Sheik shielded that, he was safe because of the ledge. Okay, that's risky. And also Silence Me. Wow, he avoided the needles. That first side B though that he did was not risky. He went for that ledge cancel.
Okay, so he's yep, Harry's gonna look for the gimp right now.
And went for that forward smash for not a good reason.
I was gonna say like he should probably avoid Harriet right now. Like obviously he needs to kill her before like Marth %, right? But
I think that's been one of the bigger weaknesses for KPAN. KPAN plays such a tight game, but in those close games where we've seen him like play so well versus like Wizrobe, and he's like not getting the kills. I think it's because he plays too conservatively in these situations. He doesn't.
I would say that's definitively the reason he loses against Baka for Moe almost every time. Is because of how conservative he... Oh!
That was almost really disastrous. But to that point, KPAN doesn't put himself... Oh my God, the down smash. That was bad. Here's what here's the point I was trying to get at. KPAN, even though he's playing such a tight game, you think like, wow, he's untouchable. Like he's playing this so well. He never puts himself in a position to lose because he's trying to play so safe. He's trying to make sure that he doesn't fuck it up. But by extension, he never puts himself in a position to win either. So it just draws out and draws out and draws out until finally the person
gets their moment.
Yeah, exactly. And he never gives himself that moment. I think that's like probably one of his biggest weaknesses. It's really admirable that when he gets in a high pressure situation, when he's like in a really stressful situation, he plays so tight and that he plays so safe. But he needs to find a moment to press an advantage at some point, which I feel like his weakness is that he doesn't.
Completely agree with you. And like going back to the Baka for Moe example, because for a very long time, like before Recursion was even a thing, like the grand finals in this state would always be for a very long time, if Drugfox didn't show up, Baka for Moe and KPAN.
Yes.
KPAN was kind of untouchable from like a lot of the other PR for a while. Oh my!
Oh my! And
he saved her. I think she was
No,
dead.
I think she was going to make it back.
Think she was making it back?
Yeah, I thought Falco was going to make it back as well, but he was just a little too low.
By the way, notice KPAN did not go back to the same stage.
Whoa. What a crazy man, right?
These are the little things I know.
He's counter-picking a stage? Why did he counter-pick the stadium, though?
Because it's... Why? I don't know.
This stage is stupid. What is this strategy? What is this full double jump into really early down air strategy? This is... Oh.
He turned that around. But yeah, like against the Baka for Moe example, like that was grand finals for a long period of time in this state when Sammy didn't enter. And so, like, he only beat Baka probably one risky AF. He only beat Baka once out of, I guess, maybe I'd say 8 to 10 times they met in grand finals. and most of the time he'd lose because he's playing this campy, like conservative laser game the whole time and just gave Baka time
And
to
he
think.
looks like he's in such
Oh, it
control.
always would go to game 5 too, by the way.
Yeah.
But he would give like Baka all the time he needed to figure out what to do.
Really good Amsa tech there on the platform. Unfortunately, too much momentum, and he ended up getting edge hogged.
Well, the converse to my point is that if you go back a few months ago, half a year, Yort, one of our rising PR players, he almost beat Baka, and Yort is insanely aggressive. Like, does not give your opponent time to think. So
And that's kind of like a Shizwiz style of play. Shizwiz really tries to find his openings and just presses the advantage as hard as possible.
yeah, or
right?
like now the new King Momo style.
The new King
Have you
Momo.
seen it? I don't know if I've heard this style that he's been playing is not very, he hasn't been playing this kind of Falco for very long.
I've watched a little bit of King Momo. I was watching that stream before Evo when he was over at Hungrybox's house, and he was just doing some fun. He did some pretty stuff, and I didn't follow him on Twitter before. I followed him after watching him on stream.
He does some pretty nuts stuff, and that's the
yeah, he missed the wave dash, and that's it. Dang. It's an unfortunate way to lose the set. He was playing really well that game 3, and I feel like so he lost game 1. But he stayed really well focused. He was able to come back game 2. He was still playing really well game 3, but lost it. And I think at that point, that's when he kind of broke concentration, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, so that's actually kind of tough loss. Like, especially when you air dodged yourself off the stage. Haha, you've seen me do that.
I mean, everybody does it.
I did that against Bottle when you were commentating, and then I went and played Bottle again on a different day and did the same thing.
Damn.
So, all right, we are going to have Harriet versus Fox MVG Mewtwo King
You know,
for
before
grand finals.
I don't know what they call it nowadays when you just like air dodge off the stage like that. Definitely, when I first started playing, that was the Asin dash.
The Asin dash. You just kill yourself?
Just air dodge off the stage. That's when you mess up a wave dash and you end up air dodging instead.
So I assume Asin was very popular.